this during that split second. If I ever make it to his wrist, so come back. If I ever make it to his wrist, he's not pulling out of this. He can't pull out, right? But here, the split second of me going up, and he knows the arm bar is coming, he's gonna pull out, right? So just the arm, just the arm. Boom, right? We're gonna open back up and slap him in his neck with our other leg. Right? He's a smart jiu-jitsu guy. If you notice what he did to peel his arm out, he used the spraying to peel. It stops strangles from happening. A lot of people don't understand that in the moment. They're getting threatened, they just pull out. Lift my hips. I'm using my right leg to ice kick down on his back. That's what lifts my hips. Right? If I try this motion without lifting my hips up, pull out. Right? Use my heel to go get his neck. And it also cuts my angle for me. Right? Lock up my legs however I need to. Right? Fix his arm, grab my shield, cut my angle, finish the triangle. Right? So again, it's not only that I'm it's not that I'm just swinging this leg around. This is super weak. Right? It's that I'm using my right leg to go get in his head. All good?
Yes, sir.
So I need to go over the steps of the triangle.
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay. To this point, right? A lot of times this person's gonna have his arm on the opposite side. I'm gonna lift my hips up. This actually gives me leverage to pull his arm across the hips. Right? If I try to do the same motion here, he's super strong, it's not gonna happen. I gotta use a bigger muscle group to help me get that leg or get that arm out from underneath me. So I lift my hips up. That gives me a little bit of leverage to start peeling this arm across. And I drop my hips as soon as I pull it across. Right? Once it's here, I'm not worried about it coming back across. Right? It's a lot more difficult for him to pull this back across than me to put it there. Right? I grab my choke chin, meaning the one that's across his neck. The one that's across his neck, that's the one that I'm reaching up and grabbing. Once I grab this, I don't really worry about locking up my legs. My other hand, just like the pendulum sweep, you go underneath the side and cut her angle. I lock up my legs. Notice where my heel is trying to get to. My heel is trying to get past the shoulder on this side. That's the choke. All good? Yes? On to It's like the triangle. If I keep a straight foot in the triangle, I'm going to hold myself. Break my ankle or pop my knee. Right? Keep your toes pointed up. It's a lot tighter too. Go, keep going.
Good. Yep.
Pull your ankle across his neck. Good. Now lock up your leg there. That's our tap. Triangle. I do everything I'm supposed to with this arm. I grab my shin, I cut my angle, and say he's just got a thick neck, whatever it is, and I'm not choking him. Not a big deal. I'm just going to switch it back off to an arm bar, especially if he's trying to posture up and get away from me. Even better for me. I'm going to scoop his wrist, right? I push his head. My hips got to pop out just a little bit. I swing both legs over his head. Heels down to the mat. I finish my arm bar on this side now. So we went from one-sided arm bar to the other side. All right, one more time. It's a full series now, right? We're finishing the series, right? One thing, we go move on to the next. Right? Grab his wrist, elbow, pendulum sweep. I throw up the arm bar, he pulls it out, I ice pick. I do everything I'm supposed to triangle-wise. He's just not going out. Right? I grab his wrist. I like to hug it. I like to push his head. If I can see inside of his ear, that means I can arm bar him. Right? I push his head. My leg goes over the top. My hips pop out just enough. Right? Heels down to the mat, lift my hips, finish the arm bar. Arm bar, triangle to arm bar on the opposite side. All good? Yes? On to it. Fix his arm. Angle the other direction. It's so far over there. No, hold on. Right hand grabs your shin. My right hand. Yep. Now right foot goes to the mat where it's hit. That's what helps us push away and scoot ourselves that direction. And then wrap it back. Yeah. And now jockey postures up or whatever we can talk to an armbar. Yep, tap. Armbar, triangle, armbar.
Yeah, that's it.
If I get his weight loaded up, everything I'm supposed to, and I feel like I'm going to sweep him, but I want to submit him instead. Instead of keeping my leg down to the pendulum sweep, I'm going to keep it above his head. So I'm loading up, keeping my leg above his head to scoop up this armbar. So I'm still finishing the sweep. Right? I like keeping this far side leg because he can't turn away from me even if he tries to hitchhiker. This, it's better in my opinion than this. This, he still can't turn away from me very well, but he might get enough away. Right? Versus this keeps his hips facing me, he's stuck towards me. Right? 2 for 1. We can always break the grip and fall back for this armbar. Right? But for this drill, I want us to open up. We're going to try to break the grip, and that doesn't work. I put my toes in instead. I'm going to open up and arm drag. Right? So when he sits up now, sit up. I go with arm by, we take it back. I just taught it yesterday. Oh, sweet. Oh, you're right. It's just an open up. I just open up and arm drag him from here. On the tree with that. Right. Ideally, this person's not as athletic. He doesn't know what I'm doing. Ideally, this person just gets arm drag and stay on the side, sit up. And I take it back from here.